Creating a PDF is necessary for almost any file that you want to distribute to someone else and not have to send along all the assets, all the placed images, the fonts that you're using, and the InDesign document. It's an excellent way to lock in all elements of your layout. The recommended method to create a PDF from InDesign is File Export. Years ago, with other page layout applications, we would do File Print to Adobe PDF. That is not recommended from InDesign. Printing actually limits the number of things that can be included in this document. So I'm going to save this as Newsletter Press to start. And I'll choose Format Adobe PDF for print. When I hit Save, all of the bracketed files are out-of-the-box settings. And if you're not sure which one to use, High Quality Print is a good one to start with. There's a few standards here for the print industry. PDF-X1A was developed in 2001 as a way to do an older PDF. In the days of the print industry, they used to submit film. So let's say you're doing a Chanel perfume ad, and you would do cyan, magenta, yellow, and black separations in film that could go to many different magazines, so everything was set in stone. Well, PDF-X1A was one of the early ways to get an electronic file that was close to film. And it does a few important things. It makes all your images 300 pixels per inch. It doesn't automatically include marks or bleeds, and for this job we do need bleeds, so we'll be customizing this. In output, it makes sure all the color is going to CMYK, so if there's any RGB data, it converts that to CMYK using your document color settings. But the preserved numbers is known as safe CMYK. Preserved numbers keeps anything that's already CMYK as is. It won't touch it. In advanced, it embeds all the fonts and it flattens any transparency, any objects that have soft feathered drop shadows, and I don't believe this document contains any, so that won't be something we have to worry about for this file. PDF-X3 allowed in output for RGB color managed PDF files. It wasn't used that much in the print industry, and in 2008 they updated the PDF standards to include a newer version of Acrobat so they could do unflattened transparency. I've actually provided two PDF settings files that are customized for you for two different types of output. So I'm going to hit Cancel and choose File, Adobe PDF Presets, and Define. And I'll hit Load, and in your Assets folder in Chapter 9, you'll see Press Unflattened, and I'll load again Proof Unflattened, and I'll click Done. And I think I'll start with the soft proof version. So I'll choose File Export. My soft proof version, and I'll name this Proof, has image quality that's good enough for laser printing or inkjet printing, so it creates a slightly smaller file, and it doesn't need marks or bleeds or conversion to CMYK. So I'll leave it on Adobe PDF for print and hit Save, and I'll choose the Proof Unflattened. In compression, the images go to a high quality, and they're good enough for laser printers between 150 to 225. Anything over 225 pixels per inch is brought down to 150. Anything in between there, it leaves alone. There's no marks or bleeds, the color is left alone, and the fonts are included. So if I click back on General, I want to make sure View PDF after exporting is on, and I'll click Export. And there's a little progress bar here as it's building that PDF. Looks good. Now the only caveat here is you may want to turn on spreads in the export dialog. This is giving me a single page view. It also includes bookmarks. On the first page, I had a table of contents. So these are actually clickable links that will jump me to that page. Or I can click on the left and jump to individual spots in the document. So that's something you wouldn't want in the high-end print job. I'll come back to InDesign, and now I'll export again. File, Export, and this one will be my press quality file. I'll hit Save and choose Press Unflattened. The flattening refers to transparency, and typically that's the responsibility of the print shop. This uses 300 pixels per inch for the high quality images. In marks and bleeds, I've got the necessary marks and they don't end up in the bleed area, and I'm including the bleed. In output, any RGB is converted to CMYK, and as long as your color settings are synchronized, that will be the exact same as doing every image one by one under Image Mode CMYK in Photoshop. So I do all my CMYK when I PDF or print. And in Advance, the fonts are fully included, so it subsets 0% of the time, making sure all letters, all characters, all numbers are completely included in the file, regardless of what percentage you're using. So when I hit Export, there's my progress indicator. And here I have marks on the job for where it trims the page. You can see the bleed edges included. There are no bookmarks. Those aren't approved in a press quality job. I don't want borders inadvertently being printed on the piece. And the images are higher quality or higher resolution. So if I hide all the others and take a look at my desktop, the proof quality file, if I do a get info, is 0.5 meg, 570 bytes. The press quality, if I do a get info, is 3.7 megabytes. So a significant file size difference for those two. And to finish off, that is PDFing in InDesign. You simply choose File, Export. You can easily load custom settings when you have PDF for print, and I'll come back to the dialog to just show it to you. If you're doing web-only images, smallest file size is recommended. Press quality is missing one important thing, which is the marks and the bleeds. So that's why I provided a settings file for you. Good luck with your PDFing.